Hey khaleesam, I'm sure I didn't pronounce that correctly. Um, I am Arifter Darkly on Reddit, Vin7 on YouTube, and of course Zancube on DeviantArt. I want to talk to you about your painting, butterflies, which I really like. I should say up front. Yeah, it has this dreamy vibe, and I really like it. Also has some really interesting colors, but there are a few things that I think that you can fix. I think that you can fix them very easily. I am not American or English. I am from Sweden. The words sometimes move away from me. Let's just say that. Alright, so here we have the original. First, I started focusing on her mouth, which is uneven, and there is no shadow under her bottom lip. There's a shadow everywhere else where it's supposed to be, under her nose, under her chin, under her, well, in her eye socket somewhere, and on her neck, right? But there's no shadow on her under her lip, so I simply added some shadow there. It could probably be darker, something like this even, but that's up to you, and you know, I'm not going to paint this picture for you, miss. Alright, so with that in mind, I started looking at how the mouth was aligned with the nose, and it's not. So I simply turned it a little bit, as you can see. Let's do this again. Hey, something like that. And then I noticed that it was slightly off to the side, so I moved it to a better place. And these things are all very easy. I don't know if you're using Photoshop, but if you are, here's how I did them. This is the original. I grabbed the lasso tool with a feather of 3 pixels. I zoom in on the mouth, simply grab it like that, Control J, not Control C and Control V, but Control J, and then Control T, and simply move it around. Now, what that does is I have a I have a perfect copy of the mouth on its own separate layer, exactly above the original mouth. And that's how I did all of that. I can move it, I can do whatever I want with it. Alright, so let's see, we have the shadow, we aligned it slightly, and then we aligned it again. Next up is her eye. Her left eye, and to our right, of course. That eye is much smaller than this eye, which is annoying me. So I simply grabbed it and moved it out a bit. Of course, I didn't do a very good job. But I'm not here to do a very good job. I'm here to show you what I think that are easy things to change and fix. I also added some blur here on right where her hairline is, because it is very, very harsh right now. Which there aren't that harsh edges when you draw hair. It's it doesn't look good. And I know because I've drawn a lot of hard edges, and it never comes out the way I wanted them to. All right, so next up, I did some. I have a layer here called Even More Stuff, which are completely optional, of course, as all of this is. But I started daydreaming, and I started painting some more. First of all, I added some more shadow on the inside of her eye socket, like this, and also here. I think I fixed this awfulness, and I changed the alignment or the edge of her eyebrows here, because eyebrows rarely point out like that. They're usually like the thickest on the inside, and they kind of spread out and thin out the further out they come. So I did that. And lastly, what I couldn't help but notice was that you have probably used the sharpen filter, a filter that I really like because it brings out like a crispy quality to the paintings, and that's really cool. I like that, but the problem is the background. This background here is very busy, and it's very, very detailed. And it's much more detailed than, for example, her hair. Well, it's actually the most detailed thing in the entire picture, with the bevel and embossing that you got going on here. So that makes it feel like this is where the camera is focusing, on the background, and everything else is slightly blurry by comparison, which is not good. What I would do is I would make all these cool changes that I suggested, of course, but I would also go back to a place where I don't have the sharpen filter, and simply mask out this bit. Oh, here we go. I would simply mask out the... Oh, come on. I would simply mask out the background for the... so that it doesn't get sharpened as well. Just to get like a depth of focus. And of course, very, very lastly, and I won't even go into it, but those hands look a little bit weird to me. And I know that hands are really, really hard to do. I understand that hands can come out looking like this. But it is like when the hands are that prominent in the image, it is really important to get them really correct. Like right now, her index finger is like a knuckle longer than the I don't know, the middle finger. Yeah, the middle finger. That looks really, really weird. Now this hand looks a lot better. This hand doesn't. Alright, almost 10 minutes. What else? Nothing much. If you have any questions, suggestions, want to tell me to go stuff myself, or hey, that's nice, anything, I am on the forum. You can comment and like, and I don't know what else. You can interact with me in several ways. Alright, cool beans.